Okay, welcome to the Vitality Empire membership group. I'm so excited to see you guys here today. Each week, and this is weekly, we're going to go through some really beautiful channeled meditations. We're going to talk about different topics. So it might be about being in your power or protection or processing or healing a particular type of feeling or energy that's happening for you right now. And the similar sort of topics that we'll run through is energy maintenance. We're going to run through protection, manifestation as well, creating stamina, strength, inner power, vitality, and connection. And this all embraces that life force energy that we all contain and are made up of. So what I want to share with you today is that there is like a weekly process I'm going to be going through, and it doesn't matter if you miss a class because they're all recorded. What I will share with you is that anything that I channel through or any information or guidance that I get, I will share that with you. If it's something on a very personal level, I'm going to leave it alone and I'll personal message you with that information. Because I do understand that some things are quite private and I don't want to sometimes share some things in front of other people. So it is an intimate small group at the moment, and as it grows we will just embrace the beautiful energy that comes in, because the more energy we have within this meditation group, the more powerful it will become, because we will attract the people in this group that are going to help us grow, right? So at the moment, do you have any questions about how we're going to go through this each week? No? Okay, great. So one of the things that has been coming up at the moment is that I've noticed a lot of teachers are actually teaching clearing and meditations through the chakras and clearing them out one by one, and that's something that I want to do. However, I want to change it up a little bit. Of course, I want to be different. And I'm not starting from the base, and I'm not starting from our Earth star grounding star. What I am going to do is obviously teach you how to ground, connect, and protect each week. But as we do our clearings, I want to start from our soul star. So I want to start from there, and I'm going to work our way down through the body. Each week I will focus on a different area and a different chakra, and we're going to go right down into the base. And this is going to prepare you, and I'm getting shivers all through my body. Thank you, thank you. This is going to prepare you, so the channeling's already happening, for having that concrete foundation for your future. This is about embracing that personal power that's been missing and calling it back in. And as we call it back in, we're going to be clearing every single chakra downwards into our foundation. And as we bring it down into our foundation, we have a solid, right, stand. We have a solid foundation in order to create. And that means creating your personal power, creating your healing energy, creating your future, creating the life that you want, creating the life plan that you want. Everything that you desire will come through this process, but we can't actually manifest all of that, and we can't actually feel all of that till we go through and we really connect with the highest power of all, and we clear every single chakra downwards into our grounding energy, right? Does that make sense? Okay, do you have any questions about what I've just said? No? Okay, and remember that you can write in the chat box if you don't want to speak to me, so feel free to do that. One topic that really arose this morning when I tuned into it was the word achievement, and how many of us don't really, we don't really look at our achievements and how far we've come and really look at the positives, right? In what we have already learned. And so the road that you're heading on is all about achievements, because you've actually achieved so much to get here. And as we move forward, we're going to achieve so much more to get to where we need to be. So it's really important that you look at your greatest strengths and you look at the achievements that you've actually created, that you've actually done for yourself, and pat yourself on the back for those, right? You know, to your greatest challenges that bring you the strength that you need to move forward. So it's about believing in your truest potential, really, you know, and how big does that need to be, and how big does that look like, and what does it look like? And so I'm going to ask you guys what that looks like. So if you can unmute yourselves and just tell me, you know, what does that look like for you? What is your potential? Claudine?
My potential?
Yeah, what is your potential?
I'd say to fulfill my destiny, what I came here for.
And you can see that you actually have the potential to do that.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, very good. That's good. At least you can see a little bit of it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So our goal here will be that you will keep growing into that, and you will keep enhancing that energy so that you will feel unstoppable, and that you will feel that not in the future is the time, now is the time. There's no waiting. We haven't got time to waste. How many days do we have? We don't know. So let's get onto it now, and let's create it now. It can happen just like that, right? But it's about allowing yourself and you stepping out of the way in order for you to make that happen.
Yes.
The only thing that's stopping you is you.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Paula?
Still muting. For me, I think it's maybe you're getting feedback from it's about going and here. I've got to maybe 1 second.
That's okay.
I'm getting everything back at me.
Yeah, it's a little bit sketchy.
I haven't been on because I've come through a lot of transformation, and I need to, in order to be fulfilled, follow a different path moving forward with my life now. And that requires a lot more courage, a lot more lightness, a lot more authenticity. And I can't have any blocks. And the other thing is I need to heal myself in all ways so that I understand what that requires, what that looks like, what the process is like, so that I can help others, because I sense that that's something I'm going to be offering during my life path from this point forward. And I can't help someone if you can only teach what you know. So if I haven't been through it and I haven't had the courage and the ability to go through all of that, I can't then help others on the level that I want to. So for me, it's a matter of stepping into my full power and allowing access to all instead of blocking like I have been this whole time.
Absolutely. And the one really important thing here is to understand that whilst you're doing the life purpose or the beautiful service that you want to give, you are always going to be processing and up-leveling. And so there's no real reason why you should wait.
Yeah.
It can happen now during the process of the up-leveling and what have you. And what it might mean is that every now and again when you're going through a really big, heavy process, that you just step back a little bit with the work and not do as much, or you pick the type of work that you actually want to share, so that it suits your energy as you're processing or going through that. And sometimes you need to just totally resign from the fact that you need a break and you can't work with anyone for a week or so. So it's about you really knowing your energy and what you're going through, and how long will it take for you to reach that next level, or to be able to start working with somebody whilst you're processing. it depends on the type of work that you do. So say you were a hands-on healer, it would be absolutely essential that you don't do any healing on anybody whilst you're actually processing. If it was words and communication, it's okay, because you're not actually energetically touching anybody while you're releasing, which is a really important thing. And obviously, whilst you can give 100%, it's fine.
And it's the trust too, to be able to know how much I can give, what to take, when to take a break, when to go forward, and to know that I'm supported, throughout that whole thing too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, okay. So I think that I'd really love to take us through a guided meditation now. Do you have any questions about what I've just discussed with you guys? I want you to make sure that you have that intention held every time we come on, so that we can work towards this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it might not take a long time. It might actually happen really quickly. And what that means then is that you can keep working with that power that you've built within you. And as we move through different topics and different things, we're making those particular virtues or those particular feelings or thoughts or beliefs stronger. So, obviously the positive ones. Anything that's not working in your highest power is going to be removed through this process of us doing these healing meditations. And they're not just healing meditations, they're empowering meditations, because I'm going to be tuning in and calling in all of the highest energies to be able to share that with you and experience that at the same time. So we will learn different techniques and different things, and some of those things might be things that you already know that I may have already taught you, but for the new people that come on board in the future, and we will have a few more that just couldn't make it today, as this grows, there's going to be new people coming in. They're always going to have these videos to go back to, so they can learn that stuff along the way at their own pace. And then as we move through, there's always going to be new things, and it's really different levels of, different levels of personal and spiritual growth that's going to be coming through. And it doesn't really make any difference, because they will take from that what they desire and what they need. So we'll do lots of clearings and healings and different rituals and different ideas and some life planning as well. I really want to get into making this like a concrete plan for you, so that you can incorporate it into your work and your everyday life, and practice these types of things so that you can enhance the work that we're doing in this hour weekly. So, eventually this will just bring you fulfillment, and it will just, that energy just then just grows, and you're not going to feel restricted or bound, and you're going to have support. And if you need any support, please just, you can message me, or you can pop something in our private group, which is private. But if it's something very personal, you can always message me outside of that. And yeah, so if you've got any questions now before we go into this, just let me know. You can always, if something comes up for you and you haven't got a pen and paper and you want to jot it down, just put it in the chat box. And then when we're finished, we can go through it. We will have a Q&A at the end, and we'll talk about what this felt like for you. So just making sure you're in a comfortable position. And I'm going to take you through the process of just relaxing the body and getting into that state. We're going to ground, connect, protect, and I'm going to take you through a clearing of the transpersonal point, which is the soul star above our heads. And it will work on a very super conscious level, right? So it doesn't mean that you're going to really feel it in your body as such. If you're quite a sensitive person, you will. But it'll be more about the experience that you have today, right? Okay, so if you just take a minute to close your eyes and really just focus on your breath. And I'm just going to get my Hanukkah diamond because it's calling me. It's right behind me here. Got that energy coming through. All right, so this is, I'll just hold it up so you can see the gorgeous facets in there. And this is our baby for today. All right, so as we focus on our breath, I want you to just imagine this beautiful diamond sitting in front of your heart space, just like I have. And as you take each breath in, you're taking in the energy of the diamond, the clarity, the golden vibration. And the golden light, lots of sparkles. Lots of geometric designs and esoteric designs. And I'm hearing the matrix of the heart. Whew. Very nice. So as I'm tuning into the energy of this diamond, I just want you to really just feel the breath in your body, right? As you breathe in and breathe out with so much gratitude, love, joy, all the beautiful virtues that God, our Creator, exists from and with, and that is within every single one of us. I want you to bring your attention to your feet. We're just going to make sure that our body is relaxed in all the muscles and in all areas. So just give your feet a nice little stretch. And if you're going to move it in a direction, always move it in the opposite direction as well, making everything balanced. And do a movement at least 3 times. And as you're moving up through the body, so you can just tense muscles and relax them, coming up through the legs. And then focusing on your sit bone, your buttocks, just giving those muscles a squeeze and then relaxing. And as you're moving through, I want you to feel your body, you know, is there any pain? Is there any tightness? Any sort of tension? Any restriction even, you know, with moving a certain way or, you know, bending. So bringing that energy up and just really tapping in and almost like x-raying your body as you come up through the body. Bringing that belly button towards your spine and just tightening the muscles in your tummy and then relaxing. And then moving up, taking some breaths, don't forget to breathe. And then with your shoulders, you want to focus on, you know, bringing them up and then relaxing them down, giving them a big drop. And rotating. If you're going to go forward 3 times and then go backward 3 times. And have a feel and see if you need to do a little bit more. And then with your hands, you can clench your hands. We hold a lot of tension in our hands actually. So clenching and then relaxing, clenching and then relaxing. And then I want you to shake them out. Give them a good shake, releasing all energy that is stagnant and not flowing through the arms and out of the body. This is a really good way to release energy, shaking it through your hands or your feet. And then we want to focus on the neck area. So what you can do is actually rotate the head, or you can just tilt your head from side to side, backward and forward. And then we want to really soften those muscles in our face. So you can bring your jaw down and then relax. And a lot of people hold a lot of stress and tension around the mouth area, especially when they're sleeping. So anyone who grinds their teeth or clenches their teeth, that holds a lot of stress through the jawline here, can cause a lot of stress through the back of the neck and up through the head, causing headaches. If you do happen to cough or yawn during this process, it's all releasing from the body, right? So again, you can clench your teeth and then relax. And then we want to do the top part of our face. So you can frown and relax. Frown, relax. Okay, so now I just want you to go through and just sense your body. And as you're scanning down, I just want you to see if there's anywhere you need to go back to. Breathe into that area and breathe out, just with the intention of releasing what it is that you need to release from that spot. And if you need to go back and stretch that area, go back and do that. Because without being in a relaxed state, we really aren't going to get that truest, highest, deepest connection that we need in our meditation. Okay. So if you're all ready, focusing on the breath. We want some really big, deep breaths, opening up that diaphragm and clearing out your lungs. Now that golden sparkly light that's sitting in front of your heart space is emanating into your heart. And as we breathe in and out, we see the expansion of that light spreading out from our heart space. And we see that beautiful golden sparkly light spreading through our bodies. So going up through the top of our heads and then through our shoulders and arms and hands, through the neck, chest and upper back, and then coming all the way down into that torso, stomach area, lower back, hips, sit bone, and then all the way down through the legs, down into the feet. We see this golden light expanding through the bottom of our feet, going down into the ground, into Mother Earth. And Mother Earth too has a divine heart crystal in the center of the earth, in the core of the earth. And we see our golden white sparkly light connecting all the way into the center of the earth, connecting with Divine Mother's love and light. Feeling the strength and the power and the love and the joy and every other virtue that is of the highest love and light connected now. And we ask Mother's energy to join ours and bringing it all the way back up to the soles of our feet and entering our body and filling us up. Moving it all the way through. And when we reach the top of our heads, we expand it up through the top of our crown. We expand this beautiful golden white light right up through the universe, connecting with the Creator of all things, including us as human beings. This is a strong, golden, vibrant light connection, the highest love and light vibration of all. We call upon the Creator, our Father, to connect with our love and light. And we see this golden liquid type light coming through, coming down into the top of our heads and filling our bodies up completely. Just see it smoothing all the way through, all the way down, right down to your feet. And then coming back up into your heart space. And we see it expanding out from our heart space out past our physical body in layers, beautiful layers. First layer, the etheric layer. Second layer, the emotional layer. Third layer, the mental layer. Fourth layer, the spiritual layer. Contains 3 layers within it, expanding right out, seeing this golden light filling us up inside and out. Seeing a beautiful golden shield of protection around the exterior of our aura. And so it is. I want to bring your attention up to your third eye. And in your third eye, I want you to imagine a beautiful golden orb. Just call it in, calling in the golden orb of the highest vibration of love and light. We ask this golden orb to move up, right through to our transpersonal point, the soul star above our heads. Move to the highest level possible, the super consciousness. We see this golden orb just sitting and floating above our heads. And here we call our divine power, our divine guides, our divine angels of assistance and healing to set forth and connect with us through this golden orb. setting the intention of listening to what it is that we need to know right now. Asking that we can hear, see, feel, and know your messages clearly. Connecting with your highest senses. What can you hear? What can you see? What can you feel? What do you know? Okay, we invoke courage through this golden orb and trust that we are being led and protected and shown all it is that we need in order for us to evolve and grow and be in our highest power and order in this human body on this earth. I embrace life to the fullest, and I only attract good company of the highest love and light. The golden orb wants to move up towards its home, and it's just drifting up towards that beautiful divine golden pinnacle of power, which is God, our Creator. And everything that you desire is now being called upon. It is done. Bring your attention back to your heart space. Big breath. And I'm hearing the words, and know that it is. Know that it is. It is done. Okay, I'm getting words. I'm just going to speak. The connection is clear. We have formed a union of divine love. As you move through your days, the energy will empower you to the fullest. It is done. And so it is. Trust in you. Trust it is done. Divine One, you are called. You are called to the one of many. The one light, the one power, the one. It is done. Move forth with love, trust, and divine power. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. I always cry when I'm very connected, so you have to excuse me. That was powerful for me anyway. How did you feel, girls? Just unmute yourselves.
Yeah, I felt it too. I was really, really, really emotional. Like, as you know, I'm processing a lot of stuff from last week. And it's interesting because I felt like there's this void behind my heart space this whole week, almost like there's no substance there. I can't feel my body. I can't feel anything. And when we were doing the meditation, I felt locked in the front and a void in the back.
Right.
And that still kind of happened, right? And then as we went through, I felt the light, you know, and all of that. I felt connected. And something happened when it hit up top. My heart started fluttering. I started feeling it expand. It's like when you watch one of those videos of like a nuclear bomb, you know, where it lands and it goes psh, and it goes like right out. That's what it felt like to me. And it kind of shook my system. Like, that's why I had to put my hands here. It's like my heart was literally doing this, and I had to calm it down.
Okay.
But I felt something pretty massive.
So what I'm getting with that is, would you like me to share?
Sure.
Is like you fused back to that energy of divine light. It's like that connection was lost. So if you imagine like the wiring in a power plug that gets like deteriorates over time, and then all the wires start to fur and pull out, it's like there was a disconnection. And what I got was that it was fused back together again.
It felt like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that void at the back is from the work that we've done. We've cleared so much of that past life stuff that now that fusion is all new energy that's going to come through, and that will fill that up over time, right?
Through literally that feeling a void.
Yeah, that void that you had at the back there is part of that process of your clearing. So
okay.
yeah, and so as you move through with this new energy now, you will fill that up with this new energy, right? So you're creating new pathways and new opportunities that will replace the stuff that was holding you back. It's almost like, there was a hand with a handle at the back of your heart saying, you have to stay here because this is what you experienced in your past lives, and you cannot move forward because you owe it to this, and this to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've just released all of that. We've let that hand go. We've let that clutch go, and it's opened it up and released it all. So you can imagine there is a void, because it's almost like that volcanic crater.
Yeah.
Right?
So exactly.
Yeah. And then what we do is that over time, that crater gets filled with new earth, new energy, trees start to grow. We have a new area for reinvention and recreation, and we're nurturing this spot, and nature takes over, and this is what's going to happen. So yeah, really beautiful energy, and I felt that really strong connection through all of you. Are holding space for both of you, and making sure that you were really totally connected to that divine golden light that I was connected to. So, beautiful. Well done. And no headache today?
That wasn't as bad, actually. I felt a bit of pressure, but not bad at all. It's kind of crazy. It's moved through. It's almost like the energy has been more generalized throughout my body. I think before it was up here and in here.
Yeah.
Now I've noticed I've been a little bit more reactive, a little bit more emotional. I think it's just recalibrating. But no, I didn't have a headache today.
And I think just if your awareness is on that, and you can see that that's happening, then you know that there's that underlying release still happening. You can kind of, stop in the moment and just, be there and just acknowledge it, and then move forward with your reaction, however you want that to be. What about you, Claudine? How did you go? Are we awake, or are we still in meditation? I'm going to unmute you. Are you there?
Yeah, I should be.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, how was that meditation for you?
I went deep, and I went way up there.
Yeah.
I'm just having to ground the energy, so I've just been sitting here bringing it through my body.
Yep. You weren't already grounded? Did you lose that groundingness?
No, I just think it just took me quite deep.
Right.
Yeah.
You needed to bring yourself right back.
Yeah, I've been bringing myself right back with my piece of tourmaline.
Okay, cool. And did you have any aha moments through that process? Did you feel the connection that you needed to feel, and did you feel anything different than what you would normally in a really deep connection?
I would say that it took me definitely into some records sort of feeling and did a big clearing on something, and I feel a bit more connected to my higher self. Like,
yeah, great. Yep, cool. That's what it's all about, right? So while I've got you both unmuted, let's have a little chat about what's going to happen next and how moving forward. So next week, we're going to focus on the crown chakra, which is still quite intense energy, right? But we want to learn what that feels like so that as we move through the body and go down towards the base, we're more into our bodies and we feel it more on a human level down here. But up here, we need that energy and that connection in order for us to be able to create what it is that we desire within ourselves and our life, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah, so when we do it the other way around, it's like it feels too heavy. Well, it's in order for us to make changes, we need to use the light. We need to use the light to clear. We need to use light to enhance. We need to use the light to move forward. And if we start from the bottom, we're actually kind of like trudging through that baggage without the light, if that makes sense. I mean, we can use it to a certain degree, but when we're pulling it through and coming downwards, we're actually using it with its highest intensity. When we do it from the base, it's got a density about it. Okay, and it's because we're more connected to the earth down here rather than being connected to the source. So that's the reason why I got asked to change it up and not do what everybody else is doing. And not that it matters what everyone else is doing, this is just what I got, and this is going to be a really powerful result because we're doing it this way. And it's not the norm, right? So that's what I mean by that. So as we work through the crown next week, you know, we'll connect with our higher selves, the source again, and our guides more so. And then we're going to get whatever information we need to make sure you've got a pen and paper next week, because you'll be writing down whatever comes to you, colours, images, feelings, anything that comes to you. We're going to be jotting that down. And so it's almost like you could have your own little personal diary for each of these meditations that we go through. And you won't have a processing, but what you will have is some light bulb moments more so through these meditations that we do as we level downwards into our bodies. And do feel free to use whatever it is that you feel you need. If it's a crystal, it might be, you know, I don't know, your favourite journal and pen, anything, a pendulum, whatever you feel you need, a deck of cards to pull out if you want to pull a card for yourself and you can share it, right, with us. And so I think that if we just really keep our classes open to whatever it is that we need each week and have room for that, they're going to be even more powerful because we're tapping into what's happening in the now rather than the past, and then not too focused on the future, and we'll move through that as we go through. Right? So I'm just going to mute Claudine. I don't know what she was doing there. And so if you've got any questions now or any other things that you want to go over, how do you think that, well, I'm going to ask you a question. How do you feel now compared to when you first came on the call?
I mean, for me, I feel much more connected to spirit, to myself. I feel much calmer. I feel more expansive. I was also really stiff coming in, you know, sitting on this chair. You saw me moving around a lot, and I did a lot of yoga right before bed last night. I've been stiff all week and sore, and a lot of that tension has dissipated.
Yeah.
The academic in me is dying to know more because, as you know, I was considering business offers, and Soul Star came up. That's one of my things. And I actually know very little about it. It's funny you bring that up today. Is there any extra work, because it's not talked about as much as the 7 traditional chakras, you know, like the Zero Star and the Soul Star,
So there's, yeah,
that we could work on this week, you know, to ground it or kind of integrate it more?
Yeah, the soul star is just another word for the chakra that is above our heads, which is probably about 6 to 8 inches above our heads. And that's actually called the transpersonal point. And within that transpersonal point, we have 3 discs of consciousness. So the highest disc of consciousness is the super consciousness, which is connected directly to the source, which is what we worked on today, right? And then the second disc that's below that is actually our subconsciousness. And then the one below that is our consciousness. So it keeps you in the here and the now. This is about what we're conscious of. What we're conscious of is our emotions, our thoughts, and, you know, our experiences. And then the subconsciousness is the stuff that we kind of experience, but we kind of tuck away and we're not really aware of as such. And then we have the super consciousness, which is our spirit, our soul, that is still having an experience while we're living in this body. So while we're sleeping, while we're relaxing, meditating, our soul is going to a deeper level, right, of super consciousness. When we're in our bodies on a conscious level, we have a little bit of that subconscious in the middle between the superconscious and the consciousness. We are aware of things and we can, you know, see, feel, touch them. But with the superconsciousness and the subconsciousness, we don't know a lot of that. We're not aware of that. Does that make sense? So you would have a bit of knowledge about, you know, subconsciousness and all that sort of thing. But I think if that helps you just to understand what that energy is about above the head and the soul star that you're talking about, it's about us as a whole being, right? It's about us as a whole being on all of those 3 levels and experiencing life in a conscious way, subconscious way, and a superconscious way.
I think that's so funny, because that's what I've been wanting to focus on, and I didn't know that. But I knew that.
And that's a direction, right? So we get, you know, things might happen for you like they have for me in the past, where you get the experience or the word or what you kind of got a feeling of what it is, but you don't have the knowledge as such, the conscious knowledge. Subconsciously and superconsciously you do, and that's why that came through for you, right?
So interesting.
So you're awakening that superconsciousness knowledge, and that's why your consciousness is aware of the word. It hasn't really reconnected with that knowledge that your soul actually contains. And so as we move through this process, that knowledge will become clearer and more open to you, and you'll understand why that word came to you and how it's going to be useful for you in your work and what you do. Yeah?
Thanks.
That's great. Okay, and then Claudine, I'm going to unmute you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, any questions, darling?
No, but I just got strength, family, creativity, and sunshine as my words.
Oh, how gorgeous. So what I'm going to ask you to do with that today is I want you to look at each word and just tap into it, and what does it feel like in your body? Right?
Mm-hmm.
What does it feel like in your body? And think of an experience that gave you that brought you, you know, whatever it was, whichever word it was, the sunshine, a memory, right? Tap into the memory of it and the feeling of what that was, and you will manifest all of those words. How beautiful. All right, so a little bit of work. each week, whatever comes to you, whatever it is that you want to learn more about. You know, I feel like Paula, you've just opened up another door, really, to your soul purpose. And Claudine, you're already on your soul purpose. You know what that is, but we need to bring out the essence of you to feel the courage to be able to bring it out into the world. Does that make sense?
I have to stop these self-sabotaging episodes.
Yeah, okay. And so the self-sabotaging is about not feeling like what?
I guess it just comes back to that one thing about not being good enough, not being, and I'm a bit scared of standing in my power. And I've been clearing a lot of past life experiences related to that too as well. So,
Yeah. So they're not feeling good enough. Is that also about not being accepted?
yeah, definitely.
Right. So when you are not feeling accepted, that's a reception thing, right? So from the outside, it's hard to put yourself out there if you feel like you're going to be barricaded or stopped, or that you're going to be judged, or that you're not going to be good enough for those people. And let me tell you, you can never be good enough for everybody, because there's going to be people out there that will want to sabotage you. So the only way that you're going to get sabotaged is if you sabotage yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing. So once we build up enough trust and courage and confidence within you, that won't matter. That won't happen anymore. You won't get sabotaged by anybody, because they either like you or they don't, and you're not going to please everybody, I'm telling you now. And if they don't like you, they don't have to be listening to you. They don't have to be on your page or connect with you. So that's their choice, and love and light, somebody else is out there for them, right? Because there's lots of people doing different work, and we're not going to suit every single person. So it's only now that I actually feel really good about who I am and what I do and what I have to offer. And it's taken me a really long time, and it is a lot about, you know, that connection, and that's why I really want to get into us feeling totally connected, because when we pull that connection in and we have these beautiful divine experiences happening, we are just constantly going to have you know, synchronicities and incidences that are going to give us that little nudge, that little bit more trust, that little bit more courage, so that we can move forward. And you know, what is the worst thing that can happen? And this is what I'm going to say to you, and it might stick and it might not. What is the worst thing that can happen if you don't change the way you're doing things? It means that you're going to stay where you are and nothing's going to happen, and you're wasting time, right?
Yep.
We don't want to waste time, because we don't have time to waste. So why don't we just have a go and change things up? It can't get worse than where we are. Can't. It can only be better. When you connect with divine light, it can only get better. And you're doing everything in your power to support yourself and get the support that you need and the healing that you need, and you're putting things in action, then you can't go wrong. You absolutely can't go wrong. So today's the day to make the commitment to yourselves to start to flourish and show people who you really are. And even if you don't know who that really is right now, it's going to be really clear very soon. So the past is the past. We take what we want from it and we move it with us, and we create our future with what we have. We're not taking baggage into the future, because if we do that, we're not going to get anywhere, right? So the baggage gets cleared, we clear it, we move forward with a new energy, a new connection, a connection greater than ever we've had before, and we will move through any obstacles along the way in order to clear the path. And that's what we constantly need to do in life, right? We're constantly clearing the path. It just means there's a little hump or there's a little boulder in the way, and we just need to make sure that we know what that is and why it's there, and we clear it. We move it. We transmute it. And we clear that pathway so that we can see where we're heading and what we're doing and what we're meant to be doing and how we can better ourselves and everybody else around us in our life experiences. So I just want to say a big thank you to you both for being here today. And I'm looking forward to each week, and I will be changing the time to 9:30. So does that interfere with you, Paula, too much?
It should be fine. Yeah, that's enough time that dinner still can work, and there's, you know, otherwise it gets to be 10:30 by the time we're finishing here. And yeah.
So what is 9:30 to you?
9:30 is 7:30 here, so we'll be done by 8:30.
Okay, that's doable. Okay,
yeah.
We'll do that.
I understand mornings are hard, especially if they're kids and things.
Yeah, so we've got a few other people that need to or want to be here, but they can't because of that reason. And look, it's not going to change again, because once I set a time, that's it. I'm not changing it. If anyone wants to come on board, they can just watch the replays. So I can't, again, I'm not going to be able to please everybody. But what I do want is to be able to give, you know, other people on the other side of the world access to this live call, because look at how much more beneficial it is to, you know, be here if you really want to work through some stuff, right? And even though you can watch the replay, and they're still going to get major benefits from it, because they can connect with me via the membership group that we've got on Facebook. And I will always be supporting you guys there as well. So it's great. But there's a different essence to being on the call live. So it's really entirely up to what people really feel comfortable with as well. Some people don't like being on live calls, and that's okay too. So, you know, whatever suits. But if you have any special requests from me, please just write them in the group on as a post, and I'm going to collect all of it, and at some point we'll go through it, right? And I'll make a class of it or what have you. I want to get through these really major meditations over the next 8 weeks, and then we can really start creating and digging deep with how we want to form things, right? And as I move through the channeling, it'll become clearer for me as well, and I'll be getting more and more messages coming through. But I felt very supported today, not only by you guys, but by Spirit. So I'm very grateful. So thank you. And I'll see you all next week.
Thanks,
Thank you.